All right, welcome back to Soccer Matters here on ESPN 97.5. We roll on, and we appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. As always, you know the show streams at ESPN975.com. That's also where you get the podcasts of this show. So head over there, check out the podcasts. All these things help to get soccer on the airwaves. This segment brought to you by John Daspit and the Daspit Law Firm. It's daspitlaw.com. Give John and his firm a call, 713-322-HURT. They'll handle your case. They'll work for you 24/7 nights and weekends. And don't forget, they're giving us the opportunity to bring you interviews like this. He is one of the newest Dynamo signing. He comes from the LA Galaxy. He's Daniel Steres. Daniel, thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, a standard question always for somebody that is brought to a new team is just, how did you kind of find out about it? Did you know it was coming? And is this part of the professional landscape?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely part of being a professional soccer player here. Something like this, the trade can happen at any time. So you're always prepared for something like that. But it was pretty quick, obviously, ended the season, and you never know what's going to happen in the off season. Things started to not go so well for me over here in LA. So, you start wondering if it's a possibility. But yeah, it was probably, given a day's notice that it was going to happen, and 2 days notice maybe. And then there it was. So.
And you're a California guy, 7 years with the Galaxy. You played at San Diego State, at a very good college program. It is a bit of a change for you coming to Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, born and raised here in California, lived here most of my life. I have been lucky enough to live in some other spots in the U.S., just haven't been living in Texas yet. So it'll be interesting. We're actually pretty excited to check it out.
Daniel, I love the sort of the chronology of your career. Playing for a youth club, apparently, from what I read, same bunch of kids that went all the way through to win a Dallas Cup. You go to San Diego State, you do your time at PDL with the Wilmington Hammerheads, Galaxy 2, you're Defender of the Year, you win a USL championship there, and then you get, that first professional full team contract, and then you go on to play well over 100 games for the LA Galaxy. The journey, it's not always an easy one. And I think that's the thing that I would like you to kind of address here to maybe some of the younger people listening.
Yeah, I mean, that's usually what I preach to anyone who wants to listen. My path isn't the same as everyone else's, and it's not been, A to B straight to the top. So I've had to go a different way. I've had to take different stops on the journey that not everyone goes through. There were plenty of moments where I probably could have tossed in the towel and called it and tried to, use my business degree and go do something else. But that's part of who I am. That's what I bring. I feel like, is I just keep plugging away, keep fighting, and hopefully find my moment. But each place I've been, it's made something different of me. I've been to the best teams and the best organizations in the U.S. And I've also been to some lower league divisions where you are taking 9-10 hour bus drives and don't have an athletic trainer with you at any time of the day, and you're trying to play soccer. So I've seen a little bit of it all, and I think it's kind of added to who I am and given me some perspective on all this.
Daniel Steres joining us, one of the newest signings for the Houston Dynamo, center back, 8 career Major League Soccer goals. Played with the LA Galaxy. So I want to take you back to that, because I want this to be a real interview. And you spoke about, you almost threw in the towel. And I think most everybody in life probably gets propositioned by that sort of feeling at some point, whether you're in a business career or you're an athlete, whatever. What was the darkest period? And then how did you pull yourself out of that? Did you do that with friends? Because look, you ultimately became a great success as a professional soccer player.
Yeah, I mean, probably one of the first ones. I mean, I don't want to say it was too dark or anything, but I got out of college, got drafted actually by Chivas USA, and within like 3 weeks, I just had a rough go at it in preseason, and got let go there. And you kind of just turn around and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do now. Like, I thought this was my chance. I was super excited. So that was a moment where I had to kind of wait like they started season, everything started happening. There wasn't so many options like the USL in my backyard like that. So, I just had to wait it out and keep looking around and see what was available. Luckily, I was able to go out to Seattle and train with them for a bit, and you know, eventually that ended up working, and I signed with them in June. But even then, it wasn't that easy. It was just trying to struggle to make the team, and didn't really make any appearances or anything. So then you get let go at the end of the year there, and once again, kind of back in that period. So it was really any time I just found myself in no man's land as far as a soccer team, because even that year I was kind of without anything until I want to say like April or May, when I went to Wilmington, and I showed up like a week before the season started, because it was just searching, trying to find something.
Well, listen, it's a tremendous story, and I really applaud you for the way you've gotten through this. And I don't think everybody always is able to reveal that story, but it is a fantastic one. All right, so how about the freshness of a new opportunity coming to Houston? It's obviously a franchise that is looking to turn things around, so they're picking up a guy with a lot of experience who's a great professional, which really can add to changing the culture down here.
Yeah, that's what I'm excited for. Obviously Houston's got a lot of history. They've got some championships. They should be a big club and have been a little bit in a downward for the last couple of years here. But I'm excited. I think the new owner's coming. It sounds like he's willing to get going. He wants to bring the Houston Dynamo back to where they were. And I think that's something I can offer. I think I'd bring that sort of experience. I've done this in this league for a while, and I can help try to galvanize a group and a culture in that locker room that might be needed for getting us back to where we want to be.
Daniel, what type of conversation have you had with the general manager, Pat Onstad?
Yeah, no, he reached out right before actually the trade went down, but good conversation with him. Similar to what I just mentioned, he's bought all in, and he knows the owners bought all in, and he's excited for the investments they're going to make, the team they're going to bring in, and how the city's going to react around it. So obviously he's new as well, so we're both kind of going into this, but it sounds like there's a lot of excitement going into the potential and what can really be done out there in Houston. So.
All right. So some of the chatters out there, and of course, fans are speaking when Daniel Steres gets signed, and people are talking about it, and they're like, well, this could be depth for the center back position. I got a pretty good notion here that you're not coming here to be a depth guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a type of guy that'll do whatever the coach and the team is needing of me. But absolutely, I mean, I'm coming in to try to fight for that starting spot, and hopefully I can get it. And if not, hopefully I'm pushing those guys to make sure that they're getting better. And if I get my chance, I get my chance because of that. But I think that's the only way we're really gonna get any better is if there's competition, there's guys pushing for the spot. If we get too complacent and having the same team, or the guys that are so-called depth players on the bench aren't even getting looks or aren't getting a chance to make it on the field, then there's no reason for the guys who are starting to do any better. So I think that's what I'm going to try to bring in. And yeah, like you said, I'm not here just to play on the bench. I want to go play on that field and represent Houston. So we'll see how it goes.
Daniel Steres joining us, one of the newest, the newest Dynamo signing here, still waiting on a coach. Is that kind of weird not knowing who the coach is, because there is still a little bit of an unknown element here?
Yeah, I mean, that was like my first question I think I asked when I talked to him. I said, hey, do you guys have a coach right now? I don't have anything to spill over here. I don't have any news, but he said they're on to one. He said he's talked to the guy he thinks he knows, and they're all aware of me. So I was glad to hear of that. Hopefully they like me when I come in and when they come in. So we'll see who it is, but I'm sure Pat's going to find the right guy for the job.
All right, Daniel, speaking of coaches, I've always been fascinated with Guillermo Barros Schelotto as a player, and having watched him in Argentina, obviously. What was he like as a coach? I'm just curious. Was he an autocratic coach, a democratic coach? What type of coach was he?
You know, I feel like I didn't get the full gist of the type of coach because it was tough for him. I give him a lot of credit. It was tough. Him and his whole staff speaking English to our group and stuff, and he would try he would speak English to us, and I'm not sure he got all of his points across and everything he wanted to the way that it probably was in his head, or that he could probably relay to some of the Spanish speaking guys. But yeah, he kind of took charge, and he was the one that made the system, made everything. It was all him. It was what he wanted to put out there. Obviously, his coaches helped him. Um, but he's a smart guy. He knows the game. Obviously, I mean, he was unbelievable playing it. Um, it was an interesting experience going through it. We had one successful year and one just not successful year. Uh, COVID was a part of that, so you never know. But it was interesting to be a part of the way they go about things, and seeing the South American culture of kind of coaching, and the way they take on the season and everything. But great people, him and his brother and the whole staff. Nothing but respect for those guys.
Daniel, the center back position is a unique one. It's a great position. How has it evolved during your career? Because, it's almost like the focus seems to be more on guys who build the attack now, as opposed to maybe some of the other elements that it kind of reflects back to in years past, where it was more about, defending, breaking plays up, marking somebody out of the game, and giving the ball to somebody who could play the game better than you.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that. I think there's still definitely elements of that second part you just said. I mean, that's the main job of us as defenders, is to, be that last line, put out fires, break up plays, get the ball forward. But yeah, it's definitely evolved since I've been playing, even, and just the type of center backs you see in the league and leagues all around these days. It used to just kind of probably be the biggest guy, strong, physical, uh, didn't have to worry too much about whether they could pass a ball or, take a touch, dribble, find the open guy, break lines. It's moving forward into that. I think we are the ones who start the attack. If we can't find the open guy in the right space, if we can't see the opposition and how they're set up, and how we want to break them down, because I can just play one ball and put my teammate in trouble. It does nothing. So I think it's almost, I don't want to say it's quarterbacking, but we're back there. We can see the whole field, and we can really start the attack and get us moving forward. So I think that's mainly how it's evolved, mostly with kind of the playing aspect, because obviously, winning tackles, winning your aerial battles, all that stuff, duels, is still obviously a big part of it.
What's the thing you relish most as a center back, outside of getting forward and maybe scoring a goal? What particular one item do you love the most?
Yeah, I was going to say, getting forward on a corner, free kick, scoring a goal. That's awesome.
I took the likely one off the table.
Yeah, there you go. I think we have to enjoy it as center backs, but I'd go with like a solid slide tackle or a good aerial challenge that you just, you're both getting up and you get that win over someone. It's almost like it's like a dunking on someone type of feeling, or like a block shot, something like that. It just makes you feel good. It's what we're out there trying to do.
I love that. I love that answer there, by the way. All right, last one before we let you go. And thank you again for coming on the program. Just tell the Dynamo fans something that maybe we don't know about you.
Something that you don't know about me. I don't know. Let's see. I've got a dog. Got a new dog that basically runs my life right now. So that's good. He's going to be 2, German short hair pointer. So we'll be looking for plenty of spaces out there for him to run around, which we're excited for. Yeah, I'd say I'm just excited to kind of see the city and see what it offers, and meet the people out there. Me and my wife, we love just kind of like checking out new spots, going to restaurants, all that. I heard there's a lot of good restaurants out there, so we'll be really interested in just exploring the new town.
That can be your hobby, because you are correct. There are tremendous restaurants, every type of food available, and some
Absolutely.
really good creative stuff going on here. Well, listen, thank you again for coming on. A welcome to you and your wife coming to Houston, Texas. Thanks for coming on the program tonight, Daniel.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.